It's a brand new year, and you might notice that, yes, my decorations in the background have finally gone down. And January, February, and up until about March 8th, it's kind of a depressing part of the year, especially for me. Like, I can talk specifically about me. I'm not a big fan of winter. Post Christmas, not really anything to look forward to. This time of the year, there's not a whole lot of holidays or anything like that. It's just normally cold and dark, and there's nothing to do outside other than just, I don't know, occasionally shovel some snow. I don't really look forward to this point in the year. Okay, that's about as close as depression as I'm personally gonna get, because I subscribe to the notion that depression does exist. Feeling depressed does exist, but depression in and of itself, that's something that you have 100% control over. And if that includes engaging in some natural remedies outside of realizing that you have more control over your life than you want to give yourself credit to, or even society at large wants to attribute to you, you start to take advantage of all the stuff that you're in control of, and you're going to have a hard time ever letting yourself become depressed going forward. So with that caveat aside, what are some natural ways that you can skirt the nefarious depression? You can't watch TV these days without seeing advertisements for pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I don't personally watch cable television or anything like that, or if I'm ever, close to my family or anything. I'm close to my family, don't get that wrong, okay? But if I ever hear them, if I go to see them and they got the TV on, okay, and then you got an ad spot, it seems like every 3 minutes whenever one pops up, okay? And it's especially nefarious whenever a sports program is on. Holy, sports has become unwatchable on television. Anyways, every other, if not every single advertisement is for a pill, a pharmaceutical company, or it's somebody explaining their terrible situation, and then it's normally just solved with some sort of pill at the end of it. It's all terrible. It's nefarious. It's all designed to make you dependent, and I don't like it. I thought medicines growing up, at least I thought, naive Dawn for a second. I always thought that medicines were to help you overcome an illness. Now I realize that medicines are just marketing tactics in order to get you hooked on whatever big pharma companies out there. Anyways, but yes, pharmaceutical treatments specifically for depression. Current ads offer drugs that take in addiction. Oh, in addition, to the drugs you're already taking that aren't working. Yeah, no, exactly. This is a drug to counteract the side effects of this other drug that I'm taking for another drug that helps with my cholesterol. It's like, oh, okay, cool. How about just work on the cholesterol, or maybe go to a doctor that firmly understands the new science behind cholesterol. Anyways, off topic a little bit. I got many other HDL clarifying videos on this channel, especially whenever we talk about the ketogenic diet. The Diagnostic and Stats Manual, the DSM-5. Okay, that one's the 4, commonly known as the DSM-4, is the diagnostic manual used by mental health professionals to classify mental illness. It is currently undergoing revisions and will soon be released as the DSM-5. How old is this art? It says that it's brand new, but the DSM-5 has been out for a hot minute. There are several classifications for depression. Adjustment disorder with a depressed mood. A depressed mood is now depression, so here's your SSRIs. Bruh, how about you just fix the underlying problem right there? Because normally, okay, I hate to cite this again, but what the credentials are, as a certified personal trainer, a lot of my business is also being some sort of a counselor. Okay, if somebody's not feeling it at the gym, okay, I got to understand where they're coming from. And normally 9 times out of 10, whenever they're depressed about something, whenever they're not feeling it, it's normally just being attributed to a stupid decision that somebody's made, or a stupid decision that somebody's not making as well. You got to diagnose that stuff. So a depressed mood, I'm on side with that one, but to call it depression, to be clinically depressed over having a bad day, bruh. A dysrhythmic disorder, which in the DSM-5 seeks to reclassify as chronic depressive disorder. I occasionally, consistently feel depressed. Really? Okay. Major depressive disorder, bipolar disorders. DSM-5 proposes the inclusion of premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Oh, so PMS is officially going to be something that can be diagnosed with another pill bottle rattling around in a modern woman's purse. Fantastic. If you've been paying attention to Big Pharma ads, you'll know that there is already a pill to treat premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Yeah, take a Midol. Shout out to Sopranos. Before it had been officially included as a diagnosis. And there's no blood test, no microscopic evidence, no litmus test to diagnose depression. Yep. And I think that was on the main channel where we debunked the over-diagnosis of depression. I think so. I know I took down antidepressants on the main channel over the summer. Something about depression as well? I'm pretty sure. Feelings of sadness, worthlessness, or inappropriate guilt, sleep disturbances, appetite disturbance, and other thoughts of death or are pervasive and ongoing. Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying, man. All of those feelings are definitely valid. They are just, it's not underlying some sort of mental issue, okay? It's normally 9 times out of 10, like I'm saying, not all cases or anything like that. Don't lump me in that big brain category. It's normally attributed to a decision or something that you are or aren't doing. You take care of that, and guess what? That feeling, okay, those feelings of sadness, worthlessness, the rest of all the caveats that are there, they'll disappear like that. Trust me. It is interesting to note the opposing symptoms are included. Sleep disturbance can either be insomnia or excessive sleep. I can't sleep, or I got a lot of sleep problems. Oh, okay. Oh, I just can't wake up in the morning. And it's like, well, stop eating like crap. No, I don't want. I'll just take a pill. Great. Appetite can be diminished or increased. Either psychomotor agitation or retardation can be present. Okay, cool. So either you got ADHD or you've got the old propeller hat. Grieving can be diagnosed as an adjustment disorder with a depressed mood. Holy, somebody passes away. Last October, our family lost a dog, okay? I was pretty shook up by that, and it's like, I like the little dog for a couple of other reasons that I'll detail sometime down the line, okay? It's like, I took it exceptionally hard, okay? It was bad for about a week, and then I got over it. But theoretically, if I had a pill-pushing practitioner in my vicinity, might have been ascribed some sort of pill to help me over that situation. Here, take some happy pills because you're sad your dog's dead. And it's like, dogs die, bro. It's like, got to deal with it, I guess. Seasonal affective disorder, that's what I start off describing in the beginning, okay? Because up here in Grand Prairie, I can just talk. Yes, my own personal example on this one, okay? Right before Christmas, there was like a week where, yes, it was like 50 below for a week. That was atrocious, okay? But the sun, I didn't see the sun for the better part of 2 weeks, at least 10 days. It was just frozen sky for one, but then also just gray clouds over top. Like, it was not attractive outside. It was dim to dark outside. Those are the two different settings that you had. If it wasn't for these two happy lights or whatever they want to call it, okay, I think that they're supposed to simulate sunlight, but then they're also very good lighting as well. So that's why I got them for my little setup that I have right here. And given the fact that that's kind of the condition outside in my neck of the woods 6 months out of the year, they're kind of a necessity. So yeah, that's everything that I personally do. And it looks like we're going to be getting into supplementation here as well. That's what I do in order to stay off any sort of pills or anything like that. And that's not to say that I'm constantly fighting back any sort of niggling feeling that I'm constantly depressed or anything like that. I feel sad about a couple of different things. I get upset, I get agitated, I get put down by a couple of different things every once in a while, especially if I look through my comment section. Yuck, if I have to hear about another broad and doing that on Twitter. I get so many death threats, I get mean tweets all the time. Please just give me more attention by me victim posting. Bro, I do the exact same thing. Guys get roasted on social media whenever they reach out for a hand, okay, and then women get the friggin' world so close once again if they do the exact same thing that's out there. Just take a look. You don't believe me? You don't believe me. Just go and take a look at TikTok. Whenever a girl gets broken up with, which underlying causes there aplenty, okay, she's gonna get all the attention in the world. A guy posts that same crying TikTok about getting dumped by his girlfriend. He is getting roasted. It's not fair. It's not fair. But that's the way that it is. You got to deal with what is instead of what should be. What I'm telling you or what I'm telling you about right here, yeah, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling bad about yourself, well, obviously, It's not going to be mentioned here. Deal with what's underneath all of those terrible feelings. Try to work that out first and foremost. But then on top of that, put yourself in the best situation possible by changing your own internal monologue, okay? No more negative thoughts. No more negative self-speech, okay? If you're somebody who's constantly doubting themselves, if you're somebody who's constantly putting yourself down whenever you fail or whenever you screw up, if something takes longer than expected, okay, if something doesn't go quite to plan, and you're the first person that's like, oh, you're stupid, god damn, no, you're worthless, oh, if you have that type of thought, if you have those type of thoughts in your head, instead of like, immediately hopping to problem solving, it's like, well, that was kind of goofy. Oh, well, let's try this, okay? If you start to open up more doors instead of slam them shut, those are little changes you can make, but falling into a depressive state, that's not an option if you start to treat yourself a little bit better. It seems minuscule, but it really does compound. Better self-dialogue. That's what it's going to be one of my big focuses. It's not like I was terrible with it beforehand, but that's one of those things that I'm definitely employing and making a conscious effort towards in 2023. What are they recommending here as a natural remedy for depression? My monologues aside, get some vitamin D. Always recommend vitamin D, man. Okay, yes, the caveats of it can be toxic in your body aside, okay, about 2,000 milligrams every day, okay, just go with that. Not milligrams, MCGs, micrograms, I think that's, yeah, micrograms, okay. Your doses may vary, of course, you know, the medical professional and all that stuff. I just take 2 little tabs, and away we go. Exercise, yeah, that's the last thing that you want when you're feeling lethargic, or is this a situation, oh, I'm so depressed I can't go exercise, or are you depressed because you don't exercise? I've been through some, pardon me for a second, pardon my French, I've been through some shit, okay, but I have, oh Lord, what has it been since I was 16, so more than half my life, I have trained at least 5 days a week, and since 2014, I've trained every single day, not missing a single day, doing something. Whether it's a run, whether it's a lift, whether it's a run and a lift, I will do something every single day because that's my headspace. I have to get it done. Whether that's a family member that's dead, whether that's a pet that's dead, whether I lost a job, whether I got, 100 different strikes on my channels, whether I got content getting taken down, I don't care. I have to go exercise. I will back that until scientifically proven otherwise. Exercise cures depression. Get good sleep. Yeah, of course. If you're not sleeping, okay, you've got nefarious thoughts leaking into your mind. And if you don't get proper sleep, okay, because everything's going to irritate you, everything's going to agitate you. Your fuse gets incredibly short if you're not sleeping enough. Get up early in the morning, get outside in the early morning light. Yeah, of course. And even though for me, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, even though the sun doesn't bother getting up until about 9:30 at this point in the year. It's atrocious. But in the summer, okay, the sun's up at 5 o'clock in the morning and it doesn't go down until 11. Okay, I will take that trade-off. Actually, I like I love a good bright sun first thing in the morning. Okay, and I like a long evening, man. But it's tricky in the winter. I'll just say that. Still, not everybody lives up here. Actually, only a handful of people live up here. So if you're closer to a place where, you have a much more balanced relationship with the sun, it could be a little bit better down there. Anyways, okay. This is a great time for a walk. Early morning light will set your internal clock. If you suffer from insomnia, forcing you to get out of bed is essential. Yes, exactly. If I can go ahead and shout out Marcus Aurelius, okay? I will paraphrase this one. It's in Meditations. It's a very powerful line. Sure, your bed is warm and comfortable, okay, but no great actions were ever achieved by lying in bed. In fact, I'm going to pull up the quote because I believe it's a very powerful quote. I love this quote. It's a fantastic. I think about it whenever it's like, ugh, it's so dark outside. Ugh, it's 40 below outside. Ugh, I don't want to do anything. Then I immediately think of this passage. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. I'm a human being. What do I have to complain about? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do, or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? So, you were born to feel nice instead of doing things and experiencing them. Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants, the spiders, and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? Don't you love yourself enough? Or you love your nature too? And what demands of you? I love that quote. Absolutely love that quote. Don't be lazy. Wake up in the morning because you are a human. You are fortunate enough to be here. Go out, seize the day. Yo, man. Hey, they echo my sentiments right here. Big shout out. Exercise, the best natural remedy for depression. I can give you anecdote after anecdote, okay? Having my heart broken on a multitude of different fronts, okay? Before, started to have a healthier relationship with, relationships, okay? Doing some shrugs, being like, she's never coming back, and I hate it, and just punching air in between sets. It's like, yuck. I think back to that, but then I also think, still got your ass to the gym, right, brother? And it's like, yeah, sure as hell did. There's so many choices. Each option has important benefits. All exercise decreases stress hormones and increases endorphins, which are a natural chemical in the body responsible for elevating one's mood. Exercise also reaches adrenaline, serotonin, and dopamine. All of these natural chemicals are essential to proper mental health. So here's a list of the top 4 choices to fighting hiding depression naturally. And we recommend, if possible, to exercise outdoors and in nature. Of course, high intensity interval training. Yes, of course, to just spike that heart rate, get it going. It's one of those things where it looks taxing until you try it. I've described that a couple of different times on the channel. Need not make this video any longer than it needs to be. Oh yes, weightlifting helps increase testosterone. Shout out. Good yoga session. Yeah, of course, relaxation. Okay. But also, if you're trying to fight off any sort of negative thoughts as well, it's a good opportunity to just simply focus on your breathing, focus on what is naturally hurting in your body, trying to stretch, focus on counting. Okay, this is very, very good information right there. Or a long run. Yeah, of course, man, just put on something that you enjoy, put on an audiobook, podcast, some good music or whatever, some high energy, some good vibes with your music. Yuck. I hate to say that, but at the same time, it's a decent analogy. Just go ahead and just go do that. That's what I do on Sundays, man. I just let my mind wander. I think some of my best ideas when I'm just out on my 15, 20, 27.2 mile run, whatever I want to go do for a few hours, I just punch out. I run. I know my path. I know how long it's going to take. And I understand that I got a good old playlist where I'm going to hear some heavy metal. And we're just going to think some thoughts. And we're just going to get away from it for a while. I look forward to it every single week, regardless of what any external stimuli is going to provide me. If it's going to be pouring rain, if it's going to be blowing snow, if the wind is going to knock me off my feet, or if it's 100 degrees. I don't care. I'm going after it because I need that stuff, man. But if you're looking for something a little bit more, convenient than that, obviously, I'm still going to always push exercise whenever it comes to this stuff. You're never going to get me off that kick. But herbs and supplements. Okay, so holy basil, ginkgo or ginkgo biloba. Okay, St. John's wort, sage, ashwagandha, gesundheit, kava kava, and maca root. And then for nutrition, supplementation, vitamin D, vitamin D3 that you'll naturally get, or rather vitamin D you'll get from the sunlight, but then you can supplement with D3, also good for your immune system as well. N-acetyl L-cysteine, all right. Magnesium, shout out. Multiple mineral formula, and 5-HTP as well as DHEA. And yes, aromatherapy for a natural depression remedies. I personally like the Airwick lavender one, and yeah, lavender, jasmine. It's also incredibly helpful whenever you're trying to go to sleep as well. Lavender, it's one of those magical things, man. I did a video on it way back. It helps relax the brain on a scientific level, backed up with science. Bergamot, peppermint, sandalwood, yeah, okay, cedarwood, geranium, sage, jasmine, of course, all of that stuff as well. And then liang, whatever the heck that is as well. So there's some cures to getting past the season now that we're through the holidays, but then also helping you through the summer. This is universal advice and something that I despise whenever somebody says, "Oh, I'm just too depressed. I just need to take a whole bunch of pills." It's like, nah, man. The answers for you, those are never going to help you get over anything, man. Okay? It's never going to help you get across that finish line. It's always going to perpetually keep you running that race. When you start to take control of your life, that's when things start to change. On a mental health, on a physical health, on an emotional health standpoint, you are your own best solution. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.